Florida in 1963, moved to Tampa in 1984, graduated from St. Leo's University in criminology, the first in his family to go to college, right, and graduate, married to his wonderful wife Tasha, 4 kids, 5 grandkids, 3 great-grandkids, oh my gosh, right? Pioneered the community-oriented program COP here in Tampa, served as liaison to the Tampa City Parks and Rec Department, retired as a major after 30 years of service in the Tampa Police Department. He started a boys' elementary school level mentoring program, Gentlemen's Club, CEO of Strategic Community Engagement Consulting LLC, developed the Community Police Relationship Zoom Forum, supported the annual MLK Tribute to the Scholarship Fund and Downtown March, and then became a member of the Parade Foundation. And with all that, today, he is here to be our Character GPS keynote speaker. I'd like to have you give a warm welcome to our friend, Mr. Rocky Ratliffe. Come on down. You ever had an introduction like that? All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, do me a favor. Can you put your 7 principles up there?
Yes, I can.
Now, hello everyone.
Hello.
I want to welcome y'all here. I'm glad to be here talking to the young people. And that's what we do. That's what I do. As of now, I'm part of Darebrook Charities Youth Program with Darryl Daniels, and what we do, we mentor kids. I've been doing it for 30 years. I was a police officer for 30 years. Guess what? I'm still doing it while I'm retired. Because see, any job, if you love the job, it's not a job. So everybody in the community, I know the mayor was my chief, he's a good friend of mine. I know the sheriff, Chad Cruniston, we came through, he with the sheriff department, I with the Tampa Police Department, him and our best friends. So all these people, they see you still in the community. Oh, I love helping our youth, because that's our future, the youth. You guys are our future.
Yeah.
Now what we talking about is character. You know, Jeffman, you see, I put my book down. I had a book, I had paper, but I was gonna say, covered everything and some. So I'm gonna get up here like him and talk to you guys. Like I said, I did 30 years with the Tampa Police Department, 30 years. I started in '88, worked my way up the ranks to major. But during that time as a rookie, I'm from Perry, Florida, I'm a country boy. If everybody know what Perry, Florida is, small town, country, near Tallahassee. My life, and I'm gonna tell you about my life. A lot of people think, oh, he done did this. No. My life, when I was a young man, when I was a boy, I had a rough childhood. I had my mom and dad, but my mom was no joke. No joke. Anything I did, we got whippings. We got whoopings, beat up. I mean, almost killings. But I can tell you this story. I tell this to everyone. I was growing up. My dad died when I was 15. He drowned. And he was in a boating accident. I was with him. I was with him, y'all, when my dad drowned. So, think about that. And I'm gonna tell you, get to that. Before he drowned, it was daylight saving time. April 29th, 1978. Daylight saving time, longer days. And me and my dad always went fishing. Love fishing. So we was gonna go fishing this day. It's on a Sunday. It's on a Sunday. We're gonna go fishing. My mom said, y'all don't need to go fishing today. My mom had a sixth sense. She said, don't go fishing today. We said, oh, we going. No, don't go today. Go tomorrow. But do not go today, because something won't happen. My dad said, ain't nothing gonna happen, we gonna go. So we went fishing. We had a little john boat. And we was in the john boat. I was in the front, he was in the back. A john boat is a small boat. My dad was 6'3", 250 pounds. I just turned 15, April 20th. This is April 29th, y'all. Okay? So, my dad went to catch a fish. He hooked it. He was big, he hooked it. The boat started tipping over. Guess what? Water started coming in the boat. So, we got out. My dad taught me how to swim. So, I looked back, he wasn't there. So what happened? My dad drowned, some kind of way. It took them 18 hours to find him. We was in a Blue Spring Lake. Blue Spring Lake, you couldn't see this far ahead of you. So what happened, the boater came and picked me up out the water, took me to shore. He said, "You want me to call your mom?" I said, "No, I'll call her." I remember what my mom told us. "Don't go fishing today, go tomorrow. Something gonna happen." So as soon as I called home, she picked up the phone. I said, "Mom," that's all I said. She started crying. Now she started blaming me for my dad's death. So I'm telling you what I went through as a child. My mom used to blame me for my dad's death. She said, I wish my husband was here instead of you. You'll never be nothing. You can't do this, you can't do that." Think about that as a child. Now this was going on before I was 15, but it got worse. And I tell you one thing, when I taught the kids, I went to Plant High School, I've been to Hillsborough High, Middleton, Blake. I asked all the kids, I said, "How many of y'all have heard gunshots?" Everybody raised their hand. I said, "How many of y'all gonna see somebody get shot? You have a few." I said, "How many of y'all had your mom shoot at them?" I raised my hand, and nobody raised their hand. Now, I'm in the inner city, I'm in the East End. Everybody looking at me, the kids. And then they came up to me and said, "Your mom shot at you for real?" I said, yeah, twice. So, I'm telling you this story to tell you this. Character, you could be what you want to be. You could do what you want to do. You got to have that character. But what I did with all my bad stuff, I made it positive. I took a negative and turned it into a positive. So character is the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act or behave. Let me say it again. Character is the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you behave. Now life, I'm telling you about life. You could always improve your character. You could work on your character every day. You could be the best you could be. And that's what I did. That's how I could be. So when I worked in the community with kids, as a police officer, I chase everybody. I said, wait a minute. I'm tired of chasing people. I'm gonna start knocking on doors. So I started knocking on doors in the public house. That's how everybody knew me. I started talking with them. They trusted me. Then when something happened, guess who they called? I ain't had to chase nobody no more. They called me because they trusted that I was going to do the right thing for their family. So character is most important. Even when we hire police officers, or you hire any job, principals, you want to get to a job. We look for character. But guess what? It's hard. It's hard to grab that character because you can put on the application everything you want. You could lie. But the only way you can judge people's character when they start working. And you start seeing them day in and day out and what they do, how they do it, how they treat people. You get what I'm saying? How you treat people is most important. Always treat people right. The golden rule. Treat a person the way you want to be treated. Do you want somebody to curse you out? You want to get slapped? You want to get hit? Well, don't do it to anybody else. The golden rule. Okay, let's go with the first, proactive responsibility. It's up to you to be proactive. Y'all know what proactive is? What is proactive? There you go. Proactive. Don't wait on nobody to tell you what to do. Go ahead and do it. And that's what proactive is. Responsibility. You taking responsibility for what you do. Don't worry about what everybody else do. Because some people say, well, Jerry didn't do it, why I got to do it? See? Now you do that, you're going to bring yourself down. So always be proactive in what you do and take the responsibility. You have the city can do. You can do anything you put your mind to. Whoever you want to be, what you want to be, you can do it. It's simple. Look what I went through. Nobody would thought I was going to be a police officer. Nobody. They said, oh man, he ain't going to be no police officer. I surprised everybody. I didn't want to be a police officer, y'all. My major was electronic computer engineer. I went to Thune Cookman, marched in the band. Yeah, I I marched in the band, played tuba. Yeah, yeah. So I came to Tampa, moved to Tampa in '84. And I went to college with one of my friends in college. His dad was a major with the Tampa Police Department, Benny Holder. Everybody know Benny Holder, retired chief, the first black chief at the Tampa Police Department, the longest running chief, 10 years. That was my little mentor. So he used to talk to me, man, Rock, you want to be a police officer? I don't want to be no police officer. I don't want to do that. Yeah, another person, he was a major. Curtis Lane. Everybody know Curtis Lane? That's my other mentor. He talked to me, hey, you need to be a police. I don't want to be. He said, you good with people, you know how to talk to people? I don't want to do that. Guess what, about a year later, I filled out the application. That was the best thing I ever did in my life. Best thing I ever did in my life. So, and look what happened. I went to college, went to Bethune-Cookman, played in the band. My major was engineering. But I didn't go that route. Well, you know why? I had goals. You set goals. If that first goal didn't work out, set another goal. Set daily goals. You know, like school. School, you gotta make school simple. I'm gonna tell you how simple school is. If you do good, what'll happen? Good things will happen, right? If you do bad, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna tell you how simple life is. Go to school. What I used to do in school, I didn't like to take my home. I didn't like to go home with homework. Before I left school, I did my homework. So when I went home, now I had all the time. Remember time management?
Yeah.
Time? Manage your time for the day? When I went home, my homework was done. And I had a lot of time to play. Think about it. You got to change it around. You got to change the way you think. Or the way you think, you won't make it work. That's what it's about. It's about thinking, okay? What is character? Character is the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. Let's go to talents, discovery. You're gonna discover your talent. You know, you're gonna be able to do stuff. You might do one thing today. You say, wait a minute, I wanna do this. I wanna be a dancer. I wanna be a singer. I wanna be an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer. It ain't wrong to change, as long as you got goals and you keep it going. So your talents, you know, appreciation, loyalty, self-respect. Because a lot of people are gonna tell you a lot of things. And I'm gonna tell you one key also. You can't please everybody. Listen, as I moved up through the ranks, I became a corporal, that's assistant to the sergeant. I became a sergeant. You know, I had like 12 or 15 guys. You want to try to please everybody. And somebody still ain't gonna like, oh, I don't like him, he do this or do that. So you ain't gonna please everybody. So what I did the golden rule. Treat people with respect the way I want to be treated. Do the right thing for all. If you do the right thing for all, every decision you make in life, if you're doing the right thing for everybody, for the right reason, guess what? It's gonna be okay. Remember, you can't please everybody. If you give I tell my wife and my friends, if you give everybody, if I give everybody here $1 million, somebody gonna say, why he ain't giving 1.2 million? Seriously, think about that. If I give everybody here $1 million, somebody gonna be upset. Well, he could have gave me more. He know he got more money in his back pocket. He got more money in his truck than anything. So you gotta think. Remember how we think? Yeah. How we feel. And how we behave. Character. Like I said, you cannot judge character. We want to. You fill out the application. You don't know until they start working. Police officers, once they start working, we thought this guy had a good character, but once he started working, you see some of the bad things that he's been doing. And then that's how we reported and found out, okay, he don't need to be a police officer today, y'all. Y'all see what's going on in the world. You know, the good police officers, we hate that. You know, it's some officers don't need to be officers. You know. And Jeff hit the key. You don't assume, you got to know. If you assume somebody, well, I thought he had a weapon. You can't shoot nobody for thinking that he had a weapon or assume. You got to know, you got to see it. And they taught us, you better not shoot nobody if you have a weapon. I can't shoot nobody. He'll reach for his waistband. I thought he was, so I'm shooting him. No, you don't do that. And that's just my opinion. Remember, I did 30 years. I was a firearm instructor. I did it all. So, discovering vision for your path. The vision. Gotta have a vision, though. Life is hard. That's why you have your parents. You know, it's hard, it's tough love. We might chew you out, might curse you out. We might tell you, no, you're gonna be punished today. But we're doing it for the reason, getting you ready for life. Life is hard. I'm telling you, life is hard. Your parents ain't gonna be here all the time, y'all. Your friends ain't gonna be here, so you're gonna be by yourself. We're trying to give you those tools to put in your toolkit so you can succeed in life. That's why this course is outstanding. You know, GPS, they getting you prepared for life. Life ain't no joke. Discovering your meaningful relationships. Meaningful relationships. You can't do everything by yourself, y'all. You can't do it. That's why you build friendships. You know, Principal Michael Ray Mann. That's my fraternity brother. This is my fraternity brother here, my line brothers. Omega Psi Phi fraternity. We friends for life. Think about it. And Jeff mentioned it too. See, you can't pick your family. Think about this, you can't pick your family. You got a family, and families will break you. Some people just begging for money, they steal your stuff, your family. But guess who you can pick? You can pick your friends, who you hang out with. Okay, if you pick this friend, and he or she got you doing something wrong, guess what? Get rid of that friend, go get a friend who's doing things right. Right? Well, if you do things right, right things will happen. If you do the wrong thing, it ain't gonna look good. You know, I got my grandkids, my boys. I got 4 girls. My kids, 4 girls, so I ain't have no boys. But my grandkids, I got 3 grandsons and 2 granddaughters. Those are my boys. So I teach them every day about life. You know, hard. You gotta teach them a hard lesson. Because y'all gonna hear everything out there in the real world. But we want you to think, to feel, the way you behave. You set your own destiny. Nobody don't do that. Teacher, you have the teacher, we helping you. But guess what? The teachers, they could teach you, but it's how you, what is that? How you handle that? What you gotta do? Huh? Think. So the teacher's gonna teach you a lot of things, but it's up to you. It's your life. It's not my life. It's not your principal's life. It's not the teacher's life. It's not your mom and dad life. It's your life. We just there to help you go through life. And then TLC, team loving team, people. You gotta have people on your side. So pick your friends, pick your teachers. You could pick your friends, you know. So if you learn anything, you got control of your destiny. You got control of your life. Character. What is character? It's simple. What is character? Anybody know? And what's left? How you act. Those 3 things. How you think, how you feel, how you act. That's character. And you can work on character through your whole life. You know, you're born with it, but then again, you work on it and you build from that. So when you're down and out, you think you're giving up, don't give up. Perseverance. And you hit that. Persevere through life. People tell me, Rock, you ain't gonna be able to do that. You can't do that. Guess what I do? I can't. I'm gonna tell you what somebody told me. I was an officer. A captain told me, he said, Rock, you got to, you know, suck up to people, you know, do things you don't want to do to get promoted. See, I ain't gonna say you the real word I want to use. But I said, well, if I got to do that, I'll be an officer the rest of my career.
Yeah.
I moved up through the ranks. I moved up through the ranks to major. Before I left, I had two months before I retired. The chief, Brian Dugan, he called me in his office. He said, man, I was going to promote you to deputy chief. He said, the only reason I ain't promoted, you got two months to go for your retirement. That's the only reason I ain't get promoted to deputy chief. But what I'm saying is, you could do, if I could do it, what I went through in my life, you could do it. It don't matter what position you in, what class you in, what you done went through with your family. It's how you think, how you feel, and how you act.